Today I'm going to talk about the current policy problem of student athletes and if they should get paid or not. Many people believe they should not get paid due to the fact that majority of athletes are getting their schooling paid. Therefore, that should be enough, right? Regular students would say that it would be unfair for someone who is already getting their schooling paid for to earn more money just to spend freely. In fact, student athletes do not have it as well as many others would think. Student athletes who play a sport are expected to achieve grades as if they were a full-time student. While doing so, they are also expected to perform at their best at their chosen sport. With combinations of both trying to become the best student and athlete, there is no time for a job in which could earn them extra money. Many of those student athletes are broke and are unable at times to go to a simple place like McDonald's because the ability to not earn their own money during their college career. Student athletes that even play baseball, for example, do not even earn full rides, like most people assume. A good scholarship for baseball would be around 50% tuition that is paid for. So a combination of still paying for tuition and not having enough time for a job can cause student athletes to demand to be compensated. I firmly believe, as a student athlete myself, that student athletes should be paid. According to Forbes.com, a typical D1 college football player devotes 43.3 hours a week to his sport, which is 3.3 hours more than a typical American work week. Student athletes are currently working more than the typical American in their sport just alone. That's not even including their studies. It would only make sense that we should pay the harder worker, which is the student athlete. From Complex.com, they believe that good players would stay in school longer if they were to be paid. If players were to start making money, they would be not so tempted to become professionals so fast. The reason why kids, for example, in college basketball have so many one-and-dones is due to the fact is that they know they are going to get a very big payday very quickly. They want to get paid to be able to treat themselves and be able to buy groceries and other needs for themselves. If we truly care about kids' education, we would want them to stay in school. And if we truly want kids to stay in school, we would provide them with the incentive of paying them. If kids were to stay in school longer, they would therefore have a higher education, they would get a bachelor's degree, and be better prepared for life outside of their professional sport if they make it, if it doesn't work out. With more educated people in the world, the better the world will be. Our world would be better, and it all starts with paying our student athletes. The smarter the student, the better the world. Just gotta pay them. Another source from Blissland stated that college athletes struggle to make ends meet. For example, athletes who spend 90 hours a week training and doing various schoolwork will find themselves starving well after their school's dining facilities have closed. Instead, the students have to spend their own money in order to eat. This might not seem like much, but there are some students who come from very poor families and they just can't afford it. I myself struggle with being able to purchase food. There are times where we practice so long that I miss out on my own meal and the calf will be closed. Therefore, I have to spend my own money to get food out of my own pocket. I'm really not poor, I'm actually pretty privileged, but I'm really not able to go out every single day. I just cannot afford it. And I cannot imagine somebody who struggles with money back home to be able to go out to eat when they're starving. Student athletes really deserve just a bit of cash just to be able to go out and get a good meal, which is just a basic necessity. According to an article from the New York Times, they proposed the idea of paying players a minimum of $25,000 per player. They said it would be enough money to make students rich, but give them enough money to live like a typical college student. In all honesty, I would be comfortable with around $10,000 a year. The money is enough to help me buy food and other various needs, while also learning me help the value of the dollar and keeping students from misusing this money. It is enough money to where you can't just spend on random things like, TVs or shoes. It's enough money to buy the basic necessities of, food, clothes, all that. And basically this would help kids kind of learn how to budget their own money. A lot of people who go one and done in and go into the NBA, they get a very big payday and they don't know how to budget their money. They spend it all very quickly, and once they're out of the league, they're pretty much broke. If we were to pay players in college, they would stay in school longer, be better educated, and they would learn the value of the money, because they would earn like $500 a month extra for food and everything. And if they really wanted to buy on food, they would kind of conserve on what they should buy during the week or month. In recap, we should have a policy of paying student athletes as they work more than the average American, enforce the importance of education, therefore making a better and brighter world, and help students from starvation like myself. Paying a fair amount of money will help accomplish this goal and will help students learn the value of money. Thank you, and thank you for listening.